This is your announcer Chuck Landington, welcoming you to the Metal Injection Livecast. Vinnie Paul tragically died earlier this week, and all I can say is... Wow, I can't believe Sid wrote that joke. It's low even for him. Here's the show. And now, here's the Metal Injection Livecast.
Hey!
Wow, Sid.
Yep.
I'm glad you got it out of your system. Standards and practices did not clear that intro, though.
It's fair.
Some of the shit we say on this show, what could it possibly be lower than that?
Think of it exactly.
I encourage every caller to call in and guess what the Vinnie Paul joke would have been.
No, we're gonna edit that off.
Really?
Yeah,
I guess.
No.
Why not?
No.
What if it's a really
Let's be
positive
respectful.
thing?
Let's be respectful, please. Please.
I was just gonna say,
Hell
like,
yeah.
I was gonna say he died in shame of losing a Wolfman Jack impersonation contest, but
I'm sure he would have appreciated that.
that wouldn't have gotten bleeped.
Yeah, that was definitely not the joke. You can be a part of the show. 213-943-3688. 213 wife nut. That's the number.
Sure.
And I'm Rob. That's Sid with the jokes,
Thank you.
What do I have?
the looks,
I guess.
and Darren with the brains.
We all have brains here. This is a very smart podcast.
So what do you have, Rob?
Connections.
The platform.
The passwords to like our
Yeah.
servers.
Our social media
The
accounts.
deed to metal injection.
Yeah.
I'm the star.
Okay.
Crickets.
You're a micro celebrity.
I'll take it.
It's more than I am.
When was the last time you got recognized?
It happens so often I don't count.
You didn't pay attention to.
But also I haven't been going out as much. I'm so recognizable now that I've become a recluse. You just can't go out when you've reached my level of celebrity man. Just because, well, now, like I said, people just keep telling me how terrible they felt about my dog going missing, and it's like,
Oh, right.
I can't handle having that conversation anymore. It's been 3 months.
You've always been I have to say, before metal injection, people would say, seen you walking around South Brooklyn. I know you.
It's very easy to spot me. So
Yeah, exactly.
Rob has the it factor.
I recognized you from public access TV when I
Like-
first met you in college.
Yeah.
was that a burn? Are you saying I look like it?
Oh.
No, I'm saying you have that shin,
What?
that
What?
shine.
I was like,
The
what,
it
what
factor.
about my
It
shins?
makes you special. That's all.
You have the shin. Rob.
I'm very confused.
Fine, I'll never compliment you again.
I see you going
appreciate it.
places,
Thank
Rob. You got incredible shins. You're going to be somebody.
You're gonna be a big star. Do you get recognized outside of shows?
Yeah, I
Like at the
got.
supermarket?
I've gotten recognized. I was walking Babka the other day, and someone was like, "Excuse me." This was 2 weeks ago, actually, that you just reminded me. You triggered the memory because I suppressed them all.
Oh, it's
No.
so terrible to get
No, it was
recognized for
actually-
your
You
work.
let go of the leash, and then what happened?
Then she ran back to me. No,
Happy ending.
no, I was walking her, and someone was like, "Excuse me," and I'm like, "What?"
You're slurring. What was that? You drunk?
I did. I might have smoked a little too much before
Go
the show
ahead,
started.
sorry.
Now that we've begun the show, I realized. But
rolls off the tongue.
anyway, so this guy was like, "Hey," and at first I had a like not a combative, but like, what the hell's going on right now?
Yeah.
And then he was like, "I recognize you. You run that site, Metal Injection, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I'm a big fan. Thank you very much. Awesome, man. Well, great running into you. Great running into you too." And then he left, and it was
Right. That was a great way of dealing with that.
yeah. Well,
What's so
I don't,
traumatic about it?
No, it's not traumatic. It's not that it's traumatic. It's that I'm always high at the time, and the initial.
You think it's a bust?
It's like, what's going on? Like
You anticipated it being a bad confrontation.
Yes. It's 90% of the time. It's not. It's great, and I hate coming out like this. Oh, I can't deal with because it's not that at all. It's just it's me. I'm antisocial.
Right.
When I'm stoned, I just want to be stoned and in my head, and I'm like lost in a cloud of thought, and my cloud gets burst. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? What do you want from me? Oh, you're a nice person. Okay, great.
Do you ever instinctively think that it's someone from a Korean meat factory at times? Is that
If you're a
part?
babka.
No, well, Bobka gets her own level of recognition, and
Oh yeah.
well, first of all, people have in the neighborhood come up to me like, "Is that Bobka who got lost?"
No.
It's like, "Yep, she's great. We're great."
No, this is the other babka.
Yes. But then there's just like people that have no manners and will like run up behind the dog and like like, "Oh my God, you're so cute." It's like, excuse
So
me.
that's people that don't even know that she's babka. Just you have
Yeah,
a cute
just
dog.
random, just like
So
just
cute
because
they
she's so
wanna touch
cute, people can't like.
Yeah.
Noah has seen when we go on a long walk, like every other block, people don't even like acknowledge me or anything. They'll just
Why
be
would
walking.
they?
Yeah, they'll just be walking and be like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, that's not okay.
Even like the most like stoic person just kind of breaks into a smile and does a complete.
It really, yeah, it is pretty great how much joy Bobka brings to everyone, and Brobka.
Brobka. When Bob walks Bobka, he's
When
Brobka.
Rabba walks Bobka.
Rabba Brobka. Rabba Brobka. Rabba Brobka.
That's really hard to chant, actually.
It's a bit of a tongue twister, Brobka.
Baba Brobka.
Rabba Brobka.
Baba
Ra-
Booey.
Rabba Brobka. Did I do it?
You did it.
Okay.
That should totally be our Baba Booey.
What, huh?
Okay.
Rabba.
I want to.
Rob. Bob. Wait.
Rabba Brobka.
It sounds like something Shlomo would say.
Yeah, it's like a holiday or something.
Yes, Rabba Brobka. Rabba Brobka.
He's
Rabba
fasting for Rabba Brobka.
Rabba Brobka, for your information, is a very sacred Jewish holiday. Rabba Brobka.
It's when all
It's
the
right
Jewish
before
dogs.
Tish B'Av.
Yeah.
Please have your quiet or think or whatever. It's kind of I'm pretty cool.
Next time Shlomo calls in, we have to remember. We have to ask him to say Rabba Brobka.
Rabba
Ask,
Brobka.
no, ask
we
him
ask
what
about-
he did for
Yeah,
Rabba Brobka.
that's exactly.
How he commemorated.
I don't have to ask. Just wait 8 minutes, and he'll eventually accidentally say Rabba Brobka. Any string of letters you can think of, he will say it.
You know, he's 43 years old now, Shlomo. That's how long he's been a listener.
Yeah.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Shlomo.
213 wide now 213-943-3688. That's the phone number. We got area code 203 on the line. Area
Hello?
code 203. Hello, Colin.
Is it you, Colin?
Yes,
Wow.
me.
What's
Wow,
up?
your voice
Sounds
got
like your balls
I
dropped.
heard about Vinnie Paul passing. I know it's been a long time, but when I heard Vinnie Paul passing away, it was pretty devastating for some people, and
Was it devastating for you?
he's no, but I mean it was a shock. That was one thing I thought it was fake at first, but then I saw all the tributes. I'm like, oh Jesus, this is real.
Yeah, it's very real.
Yeah, and it hasn't been
And
determined why yet, right?
Well, you
His
just
entire previous life is why.
Oh, I mean, like the actual cause has not.
right. He just died in his sleep. There's some speculation it was a heart
Yeah,
attack.
You do
They
that much
don't know
coke,
that
your heart
yet.
blows up eventually.
Well, we don't know
that's
that he
all.
did coke. Let's
Yeah.
not.
We don't know that?
We don't.
No, that's
right.
that's.
I mean,
what I'm
he
saying.
said, look, he said he parties.
That's why
He
I
certainly
heard-
drinks. We don't know he did the cocaine.
Yeah, that's
We
a
don't know about
leap.
that.
What's
Yeah.
that, Colin?
That's why they had the medical examiner, Sid.
Yeah, and they always release all that information.
Sydney.
They said they were gonna
ME.
release.
Yeah.
Remote ME.
Yeah, I didn't realize you're
I mean, sometimes it's-
toxicologist all
Sid
the
used
time.
to work on the show Autopsy.
Yeah, the
Makes-
autopsy sometimes writes itself. This is one of those cases.
Michael Baden.
Who? What?
Every show would be like 3 seconds. On the
Yeah.
next, Sydney ME. He did coke.
Yeah.
Oh, it's clear he did cocaine. Look at him, heroin.
He didn't he like run strip clubs?
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was in a band called Hell Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
he
yeah.
looked the way he looked.
Oh yeah, bro.
Every one of those things says lifestyle that revolves around cocaine.
He had that also had that coke bloat thing. His face is
Yeah.
very puffy.
Yeah.
face.
Let's not speculate.
That's why I said Wolfman. No, I'm not saying he did coke, Rob. I'm saying he has some symptoms of people that do coke.
Let's call him Wolfman Crack.
I mean,
you- That's my show for today, Cousin Brucey with you. Handing it off to Wolfman Crack here on CBS FM, baby.
Vinnie Paul may be the only person who's done more cocaine than Wolfman Jack.
Does anyone know who Wolfman other than you and I?
Google
right now?
it. Google it. Go watch
Didn't he have,
American
like-
Graffiti.
Oh, didn't he have like a nighttime radio show?
He was in the same era as Cousin Brucey. He had he used to do like a top 40 countdown. He would do all the doo-wop shit like when it was already 30 years old in the 80s. He was doing that like, here's another one from the Shirelles here on CBS FM. Like he was like
Sounds like Phil Anselmo.
that's how he talked.
Yeah, it's
That's just
sorta-
look up
Oh,
Wolfman
yeah.
Jack.
There's got to be some audio like on YouTube or something.
There's the Wolfman Jack, and he had like a big Wolfman. He looked like Wolverine basically, except
Yeah.
he had the chin strap with it.
Yeah. Which is weird. You're a radio personality. Why cultivate such a... Though, I mean, we do know him for that, so
Yep.
somehow it worked.
He also used to do like appearances. He
Yeah.
was like he was like in the shitty low class world of radio. He was like the biggest star
Yeah.
of radio at that time.
Yeah.
Did you find it? Hey, Wolfman Jack here with you, baby. Wolfman Jack, that's his bumper. Woo!
We gotta work on our radio imaging.
Wolfman will get you the scores any way that he can.
Ah, he got
It's
the
Wolfman Jack
spots
on
anyway. He got you the Shirelles any way that he can. Let's go. Do the Wolfman.
Oh my God.
Just get on
Is
with
this
it.
all on the radio? It's like an event where he's hosting something.
He probably was in the bathroom. They had to play all these station IDs.
Sorry, dropping a big deuce here on CBS FM, baby.
Blowing a few rails
on
before the
W
show starts.
and BC.
I got that coke bloat just like Vinnie Paul here on CBS FM.
Yeah, this is all. Yeah, what is going on?
There we
So
go.
there he is.
They're gonna play some of those nightsticks for you here, you understand? Gonna rock and roll till midnight. And then here with the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, the Rolling Stone.
Leave mouth, you understand?
Maybe like an old Jew from Passaic or something. He's
Was
like,
he? I don't know.
he's doing that affected accent.
Let's see.
Hey, it's the Rolling Stones, baby.
Here's an interview from the 90s.
Okay. Yeah, it's Wolfman Jack.
Born in New York City.
Yeah, you know, baby, my real name was Wolfman Wolfowitz. And,
Robert Weston Smith,
Oh, okay.
which sounds
I guess
made
not.
up also.
Yeah, I thought he was Jewish.
He was born in Brooklyn.
Probably the most powerful
Does it say which neighborhood?
commercial radio station ever was.
Park Slope.
And on the AM band.
Not far
In
from where Rob
America,
lives
anyway.
now. You could go visit his childhood
They got
home,
some
Rob.
powerhouses that shoot
exciting.
across
Day
Europe
trip.
and everything. But
Lived
this
on
is
12th Street and 4th Avenue.
I just noticed we're on
No,
television.
that's
As a
nowhere
child.
near me.
Well, no, just on the screen.
Hey, Rob, what's your phone
As I say,
number
it's like
again?
a
Yeah.
new gig.
Huh? Oh, I'm sure they're taping it too. You know. Anyway,
Hey, Colin, you're still there. we went off on this whole Wolfman Jack tangent, and
Yeah.
you wanted to talk about Vinnie Paul.
Yeah, and I was just listening in.
Go ahead.
So, but it's yeah, but now he's at dime, which is a good thing in heaven if you
There's
believe in
no
that
such
stuff.
thing
but
as heaven. Come on.
And if there is, no member of Pantera is there.
Yeah.
So let's stop that right now.
No, stop it.
but,
All right. Well, thank you, Colin.
there and you should see Sebastian Bach's when he heard about Vinnie Paul dying. They have a clip
He
of him on
posted a video
YouTube reacting.
tribute. Yep.
Can I just say that that is the best gay porn name of all time?
What's
Sebastian Box. Let's make that happen. Can we make that happen? Does that already exist?
It might have- what do you mean? Let's make that happen. Like recruit somebody.
Yes, and give him a name, and then we get like 10%.
Is box something they use like in gay porn for men? It seems
I
like a
don't
female
know.
thing.
I feel like it could go either way, right? I mean, you could
Theoretically,
the asshole
yes.
could be the box.
Theoretically, it could.
Theoretically, sure. But I feel like eating box.
It
would mean-
denotes pussy to me. I would say.
Yeah.
Is there?
My
Are there
opinion.
any female Sebastians?
I
It
mean,
could be a
it-
regular porn
if
name.
you
then.
gave a woman that name, it wouldn't like no one flinches when it's the other way.
All right, so then Sebastian Box could be a regular female porn
There
star.
you go.
She could hook up with Marilyn Manson. That's a porn star.
Isn't that the terrible senator from Virginia?
Oh no, that's Joe Manchin.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they're related. I wonder. Maybe that's his granddaughter.
You think she used her real name?
I hope so. That's the next step in porn, just using your real name and not having the hackish. Because now, like with Google and the internet, it's pretty easy to find out somebody's real name. So, like, why even bother? Just use your actual name. It's fine.
If only Wolfman Jack thought of that.
Yeah.
That's not true.
No?
No. How it would
I
be?
feel like if you Google most porn stars, you could probably find their real name. Or, like, Wikipedia them.
Jenna Hazenson.
well, like the really popular ones,
Hazelnuts.
sure, but otherwise, no.
So if
the
the
working
aspiration
girls.
is to get famous enough that people know your real name, why not just cut out the middleman and start with your real
Well,
name?
because at that point you can tell your parents that you're a success.
Good point. Touche.
Because otherwise it's just like, well, what are you doing this?
Well, at least she made $1 billion from taking 4 cocks up her ass. at once.
Exactly. It's like, Mom, I enjoy what I love, and I get paid very well for it.
Sebastian's box is full.
Her safety
That's
deposit
that's her first feature.
That's right.
Hey, I have a question for Colin. Colin, how many cocks do you think is enough to take up the ass?
Oh, I'm not falling. I know what it is. It's 1.
We take the one any way we get it, whether we trick you into it or you just do it out of.
Wait, which
kid.
one are we talking about that we're taking?
Well, we won't really find out. Buddy.
But, I mean, what was that? He goes, I'm not falling for that. Okay, 1.
Clearly
Did
fell
it.
for it. Well, he just wanted to acknowledge that he knew what I was doing.
Well, so we were talking about box, and I want to bring this up now because obviously we're big fans of Kaya.
True.
And, My Neck, My Back is like
Our
as
anthem.
much of an anthem from the live cast as there ever was one.
All you ladies pop your pussy like this.
Can you imagine the royalties?
Don't stop, don't
Like,
quit.
her royalties must
Well,
have
she's
gone
a
up.
queen, so of course there's royalty.
Shake your body, don't stop, don't miss, just do
What's
it.
she the queen of?
Do it. Do it.
She's
do
just
it,
the
do
queen.
it
I thought
now.
that she have a song that said I'm the queen or something.
Well, isn't that her Twitter handle? Kaya Queen, something maybe? Am I wrong?
Believe it. I don't
But
know.
either way, she's just is a queen.
Because there already is the queen of vagina. It seems like a little market
So
clash
this
there.
Kaya is the queen of necks and backs.
Okay. I
Just
feel
to
like
be-
Kaya would want to stake out the dirty part, though.
Yeah, the butthole.
Queen
So-
of crack?
Backs,
Maybe they could
yes.
compromise.
So I don't know. So
Wolfman crack, queen of crack. Look at
My neck.
My back, baby. Lick
My
my pussy and my crack and my
Funny enough.
beard.
on WAMBC.
I bet My Neck, My Back was in heavy rotation in all of Vinnie Paul's strip clubs.
Yeah.
So it comes,
Oh.
ties together.
All that royalty money for Kaya just gonna disappear now with his passing.
Well, the strip clubs still operate.
Who inherits those?
I don't know.
The love of his life.
Cocaine?
Cocaine.
He just donates all his possessions to
Can
the
we stop, please?
My favorite song, Cocaine, here, Eric Clapton on WNBC.
What was that horrible rock band from the 2000s that had their cocaine song?
Buck Cherry.
Yes, that's it.
What's it called?
Cocaine.
Cocaine. And it's not a cover
And
of
there's
that?
also
No.
the cocaine song. For
Oh,
I
they
don't
were.
know this at all.
Eddie Trunk loved them, as I recall.
Maybe refresh my memory now.
Oh
I've heard
God,
it.
you've definitely heard this song.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah.
all over radio in the 90s.
Oh. It's lit up. That's the song.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's right. Okay.
Ugh.
You definitely heard the song. Now.
Yeah.
This guy looks like a poor man's Axl Rose.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like if Axl Rose took a shit that looked like Scott Weiland.
I was gonna say it looks like what Scott Weiland looks like now.
Scott
Yeah,
Weiland.
yes. Very good.
Scott
There it is.
Decomposed.
Yeah, basically.
I thought there was some video of this corpse of Axl Rose. This, I swear I'm blanking. I have never heard this.
Okay.
Get
Good
to
for
the
you.
cocaine part.
It was the very.
Get to the
beginning.
part where
but
you're
when
cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
I love the cocaine.
Okay, now I got
There
it.
we go.
I remember this. Thank you. I needed to hear that.
Wow. the sound is so dated. Like
Yeah.
it just brings me right back to like 2001.
It's like a Steel Panther parody.
It's
song.
weird how this sounds dated, but AC/DC doesn't. When all they're doing is directly ripping off AC/DC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
CDC's good at it.
Yeah, and they're the OG. So
But I
The
also,
production is different too. The production is very of the time.
El Duderino says Vinnie Paul is the Jim Belushi of Pantera.
What is that? I don't even know what that
The shittier brother.
Yeah, I guess.
I feel like Vinnie Paul was a
Can you
big
please
part.
turn Buck Cherry off?
It was a big part of what made Pantera awesome because, like, the groove is what ruled. Like, Pantera was about that groove, and you needed them drums for that groove.
He was the third most famous.
I just think it's ironic that Rex and Phil are the ones that are still alive.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's breaking news tomorrow. Robert Pasbani of Metal Injection admits Phil Anselmo and Dimebag Darrell didn't do shit in Pantera.
No, I think what I was going to say is all of them contributed. They were greater than the sum of their
Don't
parts.
defend yourself. I was just making a
How
joke.
dare you,
Comedy
sir?
show.
Sir!
Sir!
How dare you?
Have you no decency?
Where's your civility?
This is a very uncivil.
But before we get to civility, I want to, like we were talking about the box. We got off. Here is something that would go very, like, in that strip club after Kaya, they would play Cupcake, and this song, it's called Duck Duck Goose.
Duck Duck Box.
There was so much in this little box.
Wow.
Oh. It's warped. The record warped.
Yeah, this is the beat.
I thought I came, but I peed on the dick. Pubic got inches, that's weave on the dick. Pussy like a tree, it got leaves on this shit. Bang, bang, this pussy cheap, keep with the dick. Climbing on that dick, need a 10 feet ladder.
Here we go.
I love the
Rob
D,
is
that's my
grinding
favorite
on the
ladder.
chair.
My news
What
in
the
your phone,
hell
taking
was
up your
that?
data. My cakes got fatter, bad use it, come as a batter. Look down to your dick and tell him I won't disappoint it. Pussy on punishment if she miss a dick appointment. Sloppy toppy from Poppy Lee, sloppy
This is
Joe
good,
shook.
but it's not as good as.
Hold on, wait for the hook. It's definitely not. I wasn't saying it was as good.
It's okay, but it's not. I'm
need
not.
to know what she looks like.
I don't.
Yeah, it's definitely no.
There's two K's in Cupcake.
It's no smell your dick or anything like that.
I think the song that I recommended beats this in terms of infectiousness.
Very clever rhymes, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
I just
not-
like I can't sing that back.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's not like frivolous. It's frivolous subject matter, but it's like,
Yeah, it just came up in my spot. If you just leave Spotify on, if you could play like a song, it ends up doing like a shuffle of similar songs. So it just came up, and I was like, oh, I want to play this on the show. But so
I
She's
thrash
like-
it.
She's a thick Lil Kim, basically. Which I like. She's like a big Kim.
Big Kim. Oh, God.
I'm into it.
Nice.
I'm into it. 2 thumbs up.
Thick Kim.
You mean the music or her appearance?
All of the above.
Okay.
So this is what the link we had in the thread today. That's the one you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see whose song is better.
It's not a competition. We're
Yes,
all
it
Yeah,
is.
it is. Yeah.
Everything in life is a competition, Rob.
Even situation in heaven, yeah. Oh, you are. Even up to a darkest day, I'm a feeling.
Is this
of
your
love
nephew,
again.
Noah?
Take a minute slowly. Despacito, so mamarica papacito, mamarica papacito, dromacarica mapacito, despacito, so
What is? Where did this come from?
Pause it. This is like just a kid. It's on some show or something, and
It's like
he's
a news
showing
show,
he's
Man on
showing
the
off
Street.
his talent that he can sing Despacito, but he doesn't know the words.
On a news show?
I don't know if a
How
news
did
show
it-
like a
yeah, it looks like a culture show.
Did
Yeah.
they just like randomly pick a kid off the street? Or
Yes.
It's like
That's
yeah,
what it
it looks like a huddle of people, and he's just
And what is he, like Pakistani or something?
some sort of like West
Asia.
Asia.
This
South
is
Asian
more
guy.
exploitative than our treatment of Shlomo. I disapprove.
Aw.
Neck and neck.
Despacito.
And he makes about as much sense.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I understood more than one word that Shlomo said.
Yeah.
Now that we've decided it's a competition, I feel like I've definitely won.
What's the other one?
Head on the dick, duck, duck, duck. Good.
I thought you had another person miss-singing a song. What was that one that sang that Mariah Carey song on some talent show, and she got all the words wrong?
Wasn't that just Mariah Carey on New Year's Eve?
Zoing. This is our weighted music.
So dirty. She's dirty.
Yeah. It's called Ken Lee. Ken Lee.
Okay, let's hear
Ready?
Darren's choice.
Here it is. It's a woman singing.
Te спея една песен на Mariah Carey.
I want to sing Mariah Carey.
Where is this from?
Song Ken Lee. This is from the Bulgarian
Oh
American
my God.
Idol.
Ken Lee.
Ken Lee.
A Bulgarian idol is just a person with indoor plumbing.
Your soda shows.
Ken Lee.
At first I was like, is she speaking Bulgarian? Or
No.
just sounding it out? What
Yeah,
is this?
mispronounced English.
Wow.
Tilly-boo-dee-boo-da-choo.
Like even the chorus.
The host asked her what language was that, and she goes, English.
Wow.
I think
Yeah.
I've heard that English before.
It was a really old YouTube meme.
Good times.
Ken Lee.
Back a long time ago, this is about 1963, really.
Wolfman.
64, in that area.
I heard a very touching song
This guy
called
from
Ken
Brooklyn
Lee.
managed to get himself on the airwaves there.
I was out at a house in
And I have
Bulgaria.
a book coming out that tells the whole story about it.
Fascinating.
Country type thing, which is really the happening music. And nobody can put them together in one format. It's kind of like his guy. No, this guy's country. You can't
Fascinating.
put him in
I don't want to hear it. I just wanted to prove.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to have people hear his voice. I don't need to hear all that bullshit.
Area code 701. Are you Ken Lee?
Negatory, this is Levi, Rob.
What's up, Levi?
Nothing, just listening, man.
Wonderful, Levi. There is a festival coming up very soon that you're putting together.
I'm excited
right?
to see you guys.
Oh yes, it's June 14th.
Levi wants to come and sit in on the show.
June 14th already happened.
Oh, July 14th. Sorry.
Yeah, it's July 14th and 15th.
Do it.
Should be fun. A lot of mathematical metal, headlined by Car Bomb.
Yeah.
Who are some of the band? Plug it out. Plug it out. Go. Go.
Plug it out. You plug it out.
Man, I was just listening. I wasn't ready to plug.
Plug it!
Yeah, just Car Bomb is headlining one night, and then we got Ann Albatross headlining another night. Other than that, we just got a lot of good mathy bands.
Very nice. I'll be there.
Yeah, yeah.
No, are you gonna come?
Am I invited? Do I get any?
yeah.
Do I get any perks in the green room?
Have you been to St. Vitus? It's just the basement.
You get to cuddle with the bassist from Car Bomb, if you want.
Ooh.
He only has one hand, though.
And you know, because Car Bomb is playing, I feel like there's a good chance someone from Gojira is going to be in the crowd because they're big Car Bomb fans. They live in Brooklyn. They do that studio together. So there's that. There could
So
be
why can't you have
there
them
could be
play?
an unofficial meet and greet with Joe Duplantier.
Do you think it's
Well,
awkward?
fuck, I'm excited to meet everybody East Coast.
What were you gonna say now?
Noah, watch yourself. Cough button.
I passed gas
Yeah.
before the show, and like Rob and Sid
From
did not
2
find
rooms
it funny.
away, I was like,
Sid
who
was
was
like, "What
that?
the hell was that?"
Sound-wise or
It was like
smell-wise?
it was
Sound.
like a.
I was was like, is that
Jesus
Bruno?
Christ.
You guys were not impressed.
I was
impressed.
It's not that I wasn't impressed, but you're just that comfortable around me, so I wasn't. I was like, yeah, Noah farts. Sid was just like, oh my. Sid was my word.
the vapors.
My dear.
I do declare.
Where are your manners?
Something may have died in your sphincter.
I'm so unladylike sometimes.
So Levi's going to come and smell the farts in person? Is that what's happening?
I don't know if I ever told this on the air. One of the places I worked when I was a teenager at a record store, and there was a big store, and there was a switchboard operator. There were two switchboard operators that were both drag queens, and they would come to work half the time in regular sweatpants and half the time in drag, because they would go out to drag clubs, and it was a very progressive company, and nobody cared, right? But one of them was like 6'8". And looked like a linebacker. Nicest guy in the world. But he would go to the store and get lunch and get like 8 pounds of mac and cheese and brisket, come back, eat all of it, and while I would be up there also having a break, and it would just be like, he would be sitting there and then let out a monstrous belch. Oh, how unladylike.
That's basically what I did.
Never
the
forget
show.
that.
And that went on to be RuPaul.
It's a white guy, but...
Oh. Michelle Visage.
And I say guy not being disrespectful because he would be most of the time not in drag. So he was definitely very male presenting.
Right. You told me that story a long time ago, and I would use that all the time. I'm like, oh, how unladylike. Ew, how unladylike.
I know, it just fits.
Yeah, it's good.
Lift one ass cheek off the chair and fart. Oh, how unladylike.
And really, what we're doing is we're breaking down gender norms because everyone should be ladylike, even the gentleman.
Gender norm would also be a good porn name. He can do whatever porn he wants. Straight porn, gay porn.
Norm.
He's very fluid.
Yeah.
Starring Norm Macdonald.
Pornographically fluid. All right, we're learning so much.
All right, Levi. Well, where can people get tickets? Like, do they show up at the event or what? They want to come.
Well, naturally, you just get them through St. Vitus' site.
StVitusBar.com.
Yeah. You can also get them. You can just if anybody's following Mathcore Index, Mathcast, any of that. Basically, if you're into these bands, you're already well aware or going to figure out what's going on.
Well, maybe you're not well aware. That's why you got to mention it.
Yeah, give it a damn
Yeah. You mentioned it quite a bit. Yeah, it's all good, man. Just ticketfly.com pretty much is for the 2 tickets, and then we have it's not really affiliated with us, but we have like a matinee show the day of the 14th, and that's with Artificial Brain and everything, and that's not us, but just another show going on.
So it's Saturday, July 14th, and Sunday, July 15th. I'm going to do the plug for you, Levi. Mathcore Index Fest.
Yeah, please.
Presented by Metal Injection. And headlined by Carbomb with Firo Lux, Yashira, Dead Empires, big fan of those guys. Good Game. Wanba. There's a billion bands. Mouth Breather we've talked about. I'm very much enjoy the band name. Lots of cool stuff.
Yep.
And you could go to stvitusbar.com to get tickets. 2 shows, good times, very affordable pricing.
Good affordable pricing. Just once again, man, just really excited. Christian and I were on the West Coast, and to book this on the East Coast and have people help us out and everything. Just it's this weird Wayne stock via over the internet kind of thing. So hopefully Christian and I show up and make it happen.
I think you're kind of obligated to show up and make it happen at this point.
Yeah, but that's basically what it is. The ticket sales are what they are, no matter what. We're just going to be there to fucking put on a good show, man. Everybody will get paid and everything will happen, so.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see our local live casters there, like Shankletown and Shlomo.
He's been to St. Vitus before, right?
He narked out Rob and Noah for smoking weed at
No,
St.
that was
Vitus.
at Europa. That was at a different
damn
bar.
it.
Sorry.
Similar
But he
name,
could
same
do it at
neighborhood,
St.
though.
Vitus
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Or he could smoke with us now that he's of age.
Or he could do security.
His dad can do security.
Well, he can come without his dad now because he's old enough. Because that's how long we've known Shlomo, which is so crazy.
He's probably a dad right now.
Yeah.
As is.
Oh my! By the way, Levi, I smoked some strawberry tangerine before the show, and it's kind of fucked me up. Got to be honest with you.
No shit. Oh, yo, I'm bringing some weed chocolate that doesn't even have THC in it. That's just like it's just weed. It's just a chocolate that looks like weed nugs, basically. It's called Cocoa Nugs. I'm gonna bring a bunch for you guys.
Sure, we'll take them. Shouldn't be talking about this on the air, but
Yeah.
we'll allow it.
It's just candy. Don't get you high. So it's all good.
Oh, then don't bring
Rob's
it.
not interested. If you got sunflower
Rob, I got
seeds,
candy
though.
for you,
He just
doggy.
likes
I
to
got
Russian
candy
candy.
for you, Rob.
Need to burn those bronchial tubes, or else it's no fun.
What are you vaping? What are you intaking at the moment? What have you been enjoying?
I have today. I've been gobbling up my own gummies, and I'm just dabbing a little bit of
Isn't that a
Paris
porno, too?
OG, and just yeah.
Ooh. Wait, which OG?
Paris OG.
Paris OG. Very nice.
Yeah. I mean, all the OGs, they're pretty much all the same. It
Tell
tastes
me
like
about
an OG. It's just like more piney, more sweet, you know?
It's just going to fuck you up.
But it's all,
Iced
just,
tea.
as long as it's an OG, I'm down with that
Iced
shit.
tea OG.
He's an OG.
Yeah.
OG and an Obi.
It's short for OG Kush.
Oh, that
It's the
explains
Kush.
everything.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the Kush.
Yeah, whenever I talk weed, I feel like I'm just talking to Rob anyway. So
Yeah, you are.
I shorten everything.
Rob and all the other marijuana enthusiasts that happen to listen to the Metal Injection Livecast. So
Even they're bored by all this.
Yeah, we got a lot of cross listeners and everything. So hi everybody.
Most people just put it into a fucking bowl and smoke it.
you
They
should
don't
know what
give
you're
a fuck.
smoking and what it does to you. It helps you pinpoint the exact type of weed that you would enjoy. Because sometimes people are like,
Yep.
sometimes people are like, oh, I don't like how it makes you feel. It makes you just go to sleep. It's like, well, don't smoke that kind of weed then. Smoke another kind of weed. There's different kinds of weed.
Rob, I'm bringing one for you, but I've been fucking with these CBD transdermal patches. So it's like you have like a sore muscle, like you pulled something like on your side.
I love
you
it.
put the CBD patch on, and
I
dude, I'm telling you,
love
I just I finished like a weekend trip, like skating and stuff, and I didn't feel shit the whole weekend. Came back and I started feeling sore again. I was like, oh shit, and pulled off the patch and put on another one. I mean, it's
I just
crazy,
imagine you became like a mummy of patches. I'm like, and you're just immobile.
Rob, you could put it on your third butt cheek.
Ooh, I'm into it.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. All right. Well, Levi, I look forward to seeing you once again. Mathcore Index Fest, July 14th and 15th. If you like noisy mathematical metal and you live in the tri-state area, come on down. St. Vitus Bar. All right, Levi. Thanks for calling.
Thanks for plugging that. And by the way, Rob, I listen. I'm just like calling to listen to you guys and everything. You guys got kind of caught me off guard there, but yeah, just try to listen as much as I can, like live. And if I don't, I always download the next day and everything. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
nice
We're just busting balls. We're busting balls.
Hell yeah.
All right, Levi. Have a good one.
All right, later, guys.
That's for you, Rob. You said have a good one.
Oh shit.
You all right?
Brain
Somebody else die?
No, I hope not. I don't want people dying. People should live.
Some people could die.
Good die?
Yeah.
Love it.
Goodbye, baby. Wolfman Jack signing off. NBC. He was on NBC and CBS. Pretty sure.
Did Phil Anselmo release a YouTube statement about Vinnie Paul's passing that we can play and make fun of?
No,
Is
he
there
just
any audio?
posted a photo of a candle burning.
Really? That's it?
I have many fond memories about
Wait, is
Vinnie
that
Paul.
Is that Wolfman Jack or Phil Anselmo?
That's very insulting, Noah. This is Wolfman Phil. This is Phil Anselmo. I have many fond memories of Vinnie Paul. His mother made terrible lasagna on a Christmas party, and it was just not right. You're supposed to have Christmas foods. But I know that there's girls out there. Bloggers want to talk about that.
A+.
Phil, wasn't this about Vinnie Paul? Who? What were we talking about again?
It's Philip W. Anselmo. The Wolfman.
Wolfman Phil.
Well, speaking of, Dave Mustaine kind of annoyed me this week.
Only this week?
In particular. Yes. And, well, it was interesting because, while he paid tribute to Vincent Paul, I guess he said, "You're with Daryl now," and he spelled Daryl the way that...
Like Daryl Hannah?
With a Y?
Yeah, with a Y.
I fucked up.
Yeah.
And so he goes... So then somebody responded to him.
Wait, what was the exact tweet?
Let me...
I'm just curious.
Okay,
because was it a tweet to Vinnie Paul? Because Vinnie Paul is dead and he can't read tweets, so that would be a waste right off the bat.
I have special tweets that go to the afterlife.
His friends in the CIA have special technology.
He goes, I woke up... I'm not going to do the voice. I woke up in Belgium to the news.
Oh, already starts off with a humble brag.
Yeah,
Look at me,
why?
I'm overseas.
I'm sorry, that was a typo. I meant I woke up belching.
I woke up in Belgium to the news that my friend Vinnie Paul has passed away. Another metal hero taken too soon. Say hello to Daryl for me. Rest in peace, my dear friend.
I mean, they're both dead now, so you could just as easily say hello to Daryl as you could ask Vinnie Paul to say hello for you, right? I mean,
right.
Also, like, Vinnie Paul's just getting used to the afterlife. I feel like he's got bigger fish to fry than, let me find my brother, and the first thing is Dave Mustaine says hi.
Vincent, my son, it's time to get fitted for your wings and put you on a... Hold on, I got to go fucking say hello to somebody for this prick.
When people ask you to do that, do you ever actually do it or do you ignore it?
It depends who it is.
I almost never actually say hello
agreed.
for people.
I asked, tell him yourself. But I say I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't. If, like, Jennifer asked me to do it, I do it.
Okay.
But, like, someone I care about.
Yeah.
Right.
Like 99% of the time.
You never did, like, if you run into somebody that you haven't seen in a while and they say hello to your wife for me, you're like, oh, I ran into...
I'd say that part, but I wouldn't say they told me to say hello.
I would say they told me to say hello. I wouldn't say hello from her.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I just be like, oh, look who I ran into. Isn't that neat?
It's like, tell her yourself. What the? You can't fucking pick up a phone.
Just text them. Send them a poke on Facebook. Leave me the fuck out of it. I'm gonna do your fucking errands for you.
Fucking messenger boy.
Want me to pick up your dry cleaning while I'm at it, motherfucker? What is this? The fuck out of here.
Tell him more starch.
It's ridiculous.
Fucking jerk off thing to do, that is. Okay.
So anyway, somebody tweets Mustaine back with quite a burn, actually.
Yeah.
He goes, of course Dave would spell Dime's first name wrong.
Oh, fuck you. I'm sorry.
I agree.
I'm the biggest critic of Dave Mustaine, but that's such a petty fucking thing to say.
Also, I like that the person doesn't actually put the proper spelling in the tweet because he knows he'd get it wrong too.
Right.
He just says Dimes.
He's dictating it from like voice to text. That's probably what Dave Mustaine did.
Probably had his guitar tech do it for him.
So he
Yeah,
goes,
that too.
of course Dave would spell Dime's first name wrong. Fucking derelict. Pantera would have kicked you out of their band too.
That's not very nice.
Now, here's the thing. Why would you Mustaine then quote tweets?
Yeah, it's
retweets and quote, like, why would you propel this burn of yours, like this
that nobody would have seen.
Nobody would have seen, and it's like it's a fucking burn.
Because he
and
thinks
it's clearly something you're sensitive about. So why would you project?
Right.
You know, like
Well, in his mind, he's writing this quote tweet and he's like responding, and it's the best shit ever that he's writing now.
That and he's going to unleash all his fans on this poor sucker.
Right.
Well, that, and here's the thing. What's so weird is after he said whatever he said, which I'm going to read in a moment, people would then respond like attacking that guy, and he would quote tweet those people and be like, don't give any attention to this troll. It's like,
you're the
one.
one. Oh, my God. He's so stupid.
Who gave it? Like, you started it, and by continuing this echo chamber, you're like just creating more of a loop for people to be like, don't give which troll. What
Don't
did
give
he
any
say?
attention to this troll who no one would have ever heard of if a mega celebrity.
Don't give any attention to this troll with 100 followers who Dave Mustaine with like 1 million followers.
How many followers does he really have? Just curious. If you have that,
I'll check it out in a moment. Let's. Oh, here I can pull it up right now. Hold on, I have to load it
Rob is
incognito.
blocked. I have it. It's
check Lamgo.
927,000.
Damn,
it's almost
damn near a million. Holy shit!
So,
Rob, you need to start a campaign on social media on Metal Injection that we cannot let him get to 1 million followers. Have like a certain holiday where everyone unfollows Dave Mustaine just to fuck with him. Do it. Use your powers.
Yeah.
How many followers do you have, Rob?
I have
5,000.
Almost 5,000.
Just say you'll put up a Babe of the Day for everyone who unsubscribes.
And then it's just like Dave Mustaine's face photoshopped onto like Maria Menounos' body.
Babe of the Day with Dave Mustaine's face every day.
That should be the new Babe of the Day. It's just metal celebrities photoshopped onto bikini models.
But don't put it up unless you see his total go
Yeah.
down for the day. Then at midnight, you put up a picture.
Even if just your 5,000 followers unfollow, that'll knock him back a little bit.
That's fair. If everyone who listens to the livecast were to unfollow him, that'd be good. So
I'd like to think that none of the livecast listeners follow him in the first place because they're
Why? You could
more
hate
discerning
follow.
than that.
You-
I don't do that.
And so he writes, "You're just jealous because Daryl/Daryl, he spells it both ways, was my friend,
jerk,
and you're just a pathetic troll."
Neil Hamburger?
Yeah, I was about to say.
And then he goes, "Oh yeah." Which again, you're a fucking 50-something-year-old man, and you're going, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah.
If I'm a derelict, you are the dick you lick. Go have another glass of bull's milk, sissy. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, I don't
Like, first of all, that was a terrible joke. I'm offended as a comedy fan.
Yeah. Well,
And then on top of that, you throw in some light homophobia. And I have to say, I was like, wait, like, sissy, that's fucked. Like, why is he emasculate? Like, what does emasculation have
He's
to
probably
do?
just trying to keep it, SFW, safe for work, with the profanity. Didn't want to call him a fuckface, so he said sissy.
But sissy, like, the implication of sissy is
He
wrong.
didn't think that
it's
far
a less
into it.
than.
He didn't.
'Cause he's a fucking
an
idiot.
No, because he's old. That was just like a regular thing that people said in the schoolyard when he was
Exactly. And it's wrong.
Sure,
and
but
he should be
doesn't
above
know-
it.
No, him of all people, him. He should be above it. Really?
Yes.
Far better people than him are not above it. So there's no way he should be above it. Be glad he's not using more problematic language than that.
No, I would want him to, because then I'd have a story.
You have a story now.
No, this is that's a tweet. It's not a story.
Fair enough.
El Duderino in the chat asks, Rob, why'd you retweet the article where the guy calls you the Shrek of metal? I'm glad you brought this up, Duderino. You are talking about, so I didn't want to talk about this on the show for the exact reason that I just criticized Dave Mustaine for. I didn't want to give this guy any more of an audience. But there was this guy, his name was Carlos, and he started this website, Metal Mofos. It doesn't
Oh,
exist
that's like
anymore.
the super conservative.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was basically like he was just fed up that us and Metal Sucks were providing a liberal, leftist viewpoint.
He's the one that thought we were getting money from George Soros, right?
Yes, he accused us of being George Soros funded, and so he created this blog to specifically be a counterpoint.
Yes.
So that whenever there was an artist talking about a social issue and having a left-wing viewpoint, he would espouse his anti-Christian or his pro-Christian viewpoint, criticizing them. And so he would find a still from a video interview of like me in a half blink.
That's
Like an
not a
unflattering-
trick he invented. That's
Sure,
a
sure.
internet gem.
I have to say, like, I was very flattered to have like a hit piece.
Probably watched more Metal Injection video than anyone just
Yep.
to get that through. Find the best images.
Let me find this article in the archives because we could talk. I didn't want to, like I said, I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't want to even give him curious traffic of
But
people.
you said
who-
the website doesn't exist anymore. I
Yeah,
thought.
now it's fine.
Oh yeah. Oh. So when did this happen?
Yeah, like why doesn't exist?
This site, nobody
bought the
cared.
site.
Nobody cared about the.
His Alexa rating was too.
Yeah.
low.
What's he up to now?
I don't know. The site is down. Let me see if the site's back up. Oh, it's back up.
Uh-oh. Any new content
He
about
paid his
you?
hosting bill.
How funny would it be if he saved up money to buy metalinjection.com just to fuck with you?
I don't know.
I was afraid he got deported.
Oh,
wouldn't that be ironic? All
He
the
was
stumping
Mexican.
he
He
did
called
for
himself-
Trump.
He probably still is Mexican.
You're right.
I would guess.
Well, so here's the headline. Robert Pasbani, Metal Injection's SJW. Is he an anti-Christian bigot? Heterophobe? Or does he just have a crush on Dave Mustaine?
You actually look really hot in that picture.
Oh, thanks.
Very handsome.
And then, so the caption to the photo of me with my eyes half open. Robert Pasbani, liberal opinion dude and world-renowned anti-Mustaine, anti-Christian, and heterophobic beta male at Metal Injection.
Is that accurate? Any of that?
I'm not anti-Mustaine. Yeah, I'm not. I don't care. I'm over Mustaine. Anti-Christian, yes. Heterophobic, no.
You have some beta male aspects, but I wouldn't call you that like.
No, Rob's the top.
What would consist of beta?
Well, just the idea of a beta male, I reject. It's stupid. There's no such thing as an alpha and a like. You know what I mean? Like you don't. Fuck that.
And Rob is like living to the beat of his own drum.
I don't subscribe to toxic masculinity. Okay.
Beta and beat are the same letters, Noah. So there you go.
So then he writes, "Hey, look, as if on cue, Metal Injection posts another anti-Dave Mustaine article based on Dave Mustaine's normal Christian beliefs about natural marriage." So it's just about how he's a homophobe. Was the post? So this was from a while ago. Let's see how long ago is this.
That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was a few years ago. We love Robert Pasbani and all the liberal, politically correct, social justice warriors at Metal Injection. Why? Because they provide us the prime example of what's wrong in metal today. The infestation of so-called journalists with a liberal axe to grind against metalheads that might disagree with them. Reporting on
Is that
reporters.
exactly what he's doing in the opposite direction?
Reporting on reporters, and reporters is in quotes, is much needed in our community. They are never held accountable, but we shall. Yes, we shall.
What's his take on Tim Lambesis?
Well, the site hasn't been updated in months.
Rob,
I mean-
Rob is against it, so he's probably pro murdering your wife.
Yeah, right. Like biblically, he should be very much against that.
Right?
but-
Yeah. True.
And also the fact that Lambesis was outed as like sort of faking his Christianity in the end.
Yeah.
But since Rob is anti, he might have had to do some mental gymnastics and be pro.
I also think that aside from all of his toxic, horrible political
Yeah.
positions, just the nerve of him, like making fun of anyone's appearance. Like he looks like a frying pan hit him
Oh,
in the
what
face.
is? I don't know that I've ever seen what
He
this
l-
guy looks like.
He looks like basically a dick dribble from Conan the wrestler.
Oh,
man.
He's got a bald head, misshapen face, and he's just very, very sweaty and like really.
Well, it's hot there.
But these are his publicity photos. You can't like dab your fucking face with a paper
Listen,
tawel.
Maybe that's his best.
Get a fucking
Wait,
hanky.
who is this?
This is Metal Mofo guy.
Oh, He actually has publicity photos.
Yeah,
Ugh.
like doing the fucking
What a-
horns
what
and
a
shit.
tool.
There's a,
What a tool.
It's
He really
it's
is.
fun times.
Get him on the show. Call in.
I wish.
Colin?
Colin, get this guy on the show. Colin, call in.
Orale. Arriba la raza. I fucking remember Conan.
Is he dead? Is he still alive?
He's
He's like
alive.
crippled though, right? He can barely
Crippled,
walk.
He could walk. He's doing
like
better
a
now.
promoter.
Yeah,
I
he's the
remember
booker
him like
for
being
AAA.
severely injured and
He
like,
was
looking like he
wheelchair
70.
bound.
Okay.
Yeah, for a while, but he's doing better now.
Okay, good for him.
Good. Nice to hear.
He had some stem cell injections or something.
What a terrific guy he was.
They 3D printed him a spine.
El Dudorino in the chat posted a picture of you wearing a shirt that says "Your mouth would look better with my dick in it," with the caption that says "I don't subscribe to toxic masculinity."
Yeah, it's a joke.
We got me and Rob each have that
Yeah,
shirt.
we got
I don't
that
think
for
I
free
still
from
have
John.
it. but
I threw it out. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
John
a-
Benjamin.
No one knows that it's a joke, Rob, when you wear that. You're
right.
invading safe spaces.
It does bother me though that El Dudorino has a saved image.
Yeah, he's posted that in the Discord multiple times.
He's a comedian. He has his tools prepared. He's like,
or is that photo still on my Facebook?
he's like a carrot top. He's like the internet version of a prop comic. Like he's ready to whip out something appropriate to the joke all the time. By the way, Lovely in the chat says that photo turned them straight.
Yeah.
Because they wrote "turned me straight," so I had to put the other pronoun in on the fly. See, you proud of that, Rob?
He's checking to see how
Look
where
at
the
your
picture
hair
is.
in this photo. Jesus.
You weren't
Yeah,
such
my
a
hair was so long.
You look like John Petrucci.
Oh, fuck's
that,
sake.
With that goatee.
Or Wolfman Jack, perhaps.
Is that Shrapnel Records, John Petrucci?
Yeah. from,
There was
Dream Theater.
actually so with this Vinnie Paul thing, I embedded the countdown episode we did about Pantera's Cowboys from Hell being one of the most influential albums of all time, and my talking head in that clip, I had such long hair. I don't know what the hell I was thinking growing my hair. That it was.
You were thinking you didn't want to go get a haircut.
No, I wanted to grow it out.
thought it
I
looked
wanted
good.
I wanted to look like Metal Misha from.
But it kept
But
growing
your
up.
hair grows up, yeah.
Yeah.
You look like Kid and Play when you go to.
Well, no. The thing is, I had a lot of not relaxer, but curl cream, and so it looked like a wet mop, like a vinyl wet mop, is what it looked like.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I was thinking. Especially now, I just got a haircut. I let my hair grow out a bit recently, and I just got a haircut. I'm like, yeah, what am I doing? It needs to be super short, especially in the summer. Just too thick.
Humble pie.
Well, Noah's commented twice today how hot you are, so something's working.
No. Has all of this work that I've put in finally paid off?
It's
Too
because
late.
you have a dog. It's making
Oh,
you
I
hotter.
see.
It's because she found out you were heterophobic, so now she thinks you're playing hard to get. What?
What does that mean?
You found out that he's against heterosexuals, so now you think he might be tougher to get.
Oh,
So
okay,
you're
I like the
intrigued.
challenge.
Yeah, Metal Mofos is all a ruse by
Yeah.
Rob. He runs that site. He just wanted to get into Noah's ass.
It's the same live journal template. We didn't realize all along. It was just his
Wait a minute.
renamed
Why
live
does-
journal.
Why does he keep using the word boobalicious?
Yeah.
I
Dear
feel
God.
so exposed. All right. Coming in a Dorito bag, asks El Dudorino, do you have a Raba folder on your PC? I hope everyone has a Raba folder.
Why wouldn't you?
Why would you not?
That's what I just said.
I was agreeing with you.
Sounded like a disagreement. Just saying.
Did it?
Yes.
Let's talk about this restaurant thing with Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Okay.
This thing annoyed me. I guess it's so trivial. You know, there's kids
Didn't
being
just
separated
the
for their
Supreme
family.
Court pass a law that they sided with the bakery in Colorado that
Well,
rejected making
they
cake
sent
for
it
the
back
gay couple?
down, I think, to the state court to figure it out.
Yeah, they didn't want to make a
Right.
decision on it.
But that to me is well. You first tell about what's going on.
So, the tensions are high because
There's a
they're
metal mofos coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, the next thing.
No, there was a policy enacted by the Trump administration that would separate immigrants coming in who undocumented immigrants, some would call them illegal immigrants. And so when they get caught, if they are with their children, they would be split from their children because there is a law on the books that children can only be held for 20 days before they have to be released. So their idea was to expedite the kids' cases and send them back, and then keep the fucking adults just in limbo because they don't give a fuck. And so they were splitting up these families, and there were over 3,700 families split up, which it's just disgusting. And it's just,
and the conditions that they're held
and they're
in.
living in cages, and it's regardless of what sort of amenities, and I'm using that word very loosely, they might have in these fucking cage holes. Ultimately, these kids don't speak the language. They're in a fucking foreign land, and they're away from their family, and no matter what you give them, all they want is their family.
And we should say that since 9/11, this has been happening under Bush and under Obama, and Trump, and it was already a human rights violation and crime, and Trump found a way to make it 10 times worse.
How did he, so can you explain, because that's a big talking point of contrarians being like, oh, it's always been this bad.
No, it has not been this bad. This is a new depth for sure. There's no way to sugarcoat that. I mean, like, to say that things were terrible before is accurate. To say that they're being held in basically the same facilities that they've been held in for 16-ish years, and cages, chain link fences, and unclean conditions. They're basically like in a third world country. But the part about snatching kids from their families is something that was not. If it was happening before, it was happening because of like bureaucracy and fuck up. And now it's codified as like a policy of the U.S. government.
Yes. So
that's a big step toward the depths of being a third world country. Dictatorship.
And so that part was just, it really ignited people, I feel. It really, and in a way, I feel for the media, it was a great story to run with.
Right.
Just because it's like, look, this is an undeniable fuck up. You're fucking separating these, like, I don't know. I have yet to hear anything resembling a rational argument for it.
Right.
I've heard douchey fucking like, oh, they don't want to be separated. They don't go break the law.
Right.
Which is just like, well, first of all, it's a misdemeanor what they're doing.
Right.
And
that's a very key point there.
It's barely breaking the law.
The government should really make a distinction between people that, the crime they committed is not filling out the correct paperwork, and people who come here illegally and rape people and commit crimes. Like those people should be criminally prosecuted, but the actual crime they committed is not coming through the border illegally. Like
right. And 90% of these people don't have any sort of criminal.
Right. If they don't have a criminal record, they should be given amnesty. It's not that difficult.
Right. But this current administration doesn't even want it. So people are pissed. And what's even worse, would really this fucked me up. So I was so depressed last week. And it was just like this, you get pushed.
How could this happen in America in 2018?
It's absurd.
And how can people be okay with it? And how can people work for ICE? Just morally.
Right. How could these people who work at these places,
even if you're just a pencil pusher.
Yeah. How could? Yeah.
Yeah.
You see these atrocities happening, and you're enabling it. You're helping it forward. Anyway, people, and so what's fucked up is this fucking secretary. What's her name? Yeah. Well, what is she the secretary of?
Kirsten, whatever.
Kirsten, whatever.
Homeland Security.
Homeland Security. She fucking had the nerve the day before to be like, there's no policy of separating children from their families. This is all a lie. And then the next day, the fucking president signs an executive order saying we will not further separate. Which, by the way, the executive
we will
order
not do this thing that we're not doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will fix this thing that I totally fucked up and set off to the point that the people that are corrupt with me are calling me saying it's fucking up their shit and I need to do it.
People are saying we're doing this, which we're not.
But I'll fix it. But he didn't even fix it. It was a bullshit thing.
Well, the word separation was spelled wrong on the fucking executive order.
But what's really going to happen? The upshot of it is that there will not be separate. They will be detaining the kids with the parents now, so they won't
indefinitely.
Right.
Now
so
these
now
kids-
they just got rid of the exemption that kids have to be sent back after 20 days. Now they can just stay locked up in a cage indefinitely.
Yeah. And so,
but they're with their parents.
Which, so this what she had the nerve to go to a Mexican restaurant.
Dude, when you have a craving for tableside guac, you got to get that tableside guac, man. There's just nothing.
It
can't
was
replace
totally
it.
one of those restaurants.
Yeah.
Too. And then there's footage of these democratic socialists, bless their heart,
Comrades.
storming into. Well, not so. They were walked in. They were very.
Let's go with storming.
They were very courteous. Courteous.
Courteous. Wow.
They were courting her?
Who
They
might
were
argue?
No, they were very nice there, and then they just shout this woman down like, "How dare you?" Let's find the footage. Because it's you know what? After a week of feeling so shitty, just seeing this made me feel so good, and I want to document this for future generations when they listen back to the live cast.
My only question that has yet to be answered by any supposed fake news journalist is corner flour tortilla at the Mexican restaurant.
Great question.
Did anyone say what they were eating in general? The dish?
I haven't seen specifics, but I would be very curious.
I feel like she would go for the flour because it's white.
Fair point.
But when you're going out to ethnic, don't you get the ethnic?
Oh.
I don't know. That's how white people think, isn't it?
Some.
I can't really say because I grew up in New York, so I feel like I have that much diversity training just by osmosis.
Where is she from? Is she from? No, she's not from New
She's
York.
got a silent J in her name, so
got
probably Scandinavia.
Few of them.
Yeah, Scandinavia, let's say.
But she wasn't born there. I don't think. Trump wouldn't have hired her if she was foreign.
Those are the okay immigrants.
Yeah.
You come from the good countries.
You're whiter than we are. Come on in.
I'm going to go around the corner.
So it's a very
Colorado.
Colorado, Norway.
In the separation and deportation of over 10,000 children separated from their parents. How can you enjoy a Mexican dinner?
My favorite thing is that people at the restaurant joined in on the shames.
Is that what they're doing, or are they
Yeah.
booing down the protest?
No, they're booing her.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Good. I hope so. I just
Yeah.
wasn't sure from that clip if that's what they're doing.
Imprisoning tens of thousands of people who come here seeking asylum in the United States. We call on you to end family separation and
This happened where and what location?
Well, that's a big ask.
In D.C. Why?
She's gonna drop her Mexican dinner and go and abolish an agency.
Well, she's not going
Probably
to do
not.
it, but I think it's just putting it out there, because they
Right.
know this is going to be a viral clip.
What happened to INS?
I think
Is that not a thing anymore?
I don't honestly. I don't know, but
INS
I think-
got
Is it a
turned
subsumed
into
ICE?
the Department of Homeland Security.
Isn't it INS and something else? Not DNS, I think it's called. They got subsumed into ICE.
Rob has
There's
some of those servers.
There was something I read, that like INS got. I think it's just under Department of Homeland Security though.
Yeah.
Just when they did the after 9/11, that's what kind of like they put everything under that and gave that the big budget.
ICE is just a thing that does not need to exist. Never did need to exist.
They have no authority. They have no. They're not police.
They're just goons.
Yeah.
They're paid like thugs. It's like Blackwater in Iraq or whatever. They're just there to muscle people around.
So not only was she.
Wait, so are they like is their power equal to like a mall cop?
Not right now.
No. Well, they can throw you in prison indefinitely, so they're a little more powerful.
A little more powerful than a mall cop, but
Their
can't.
qualifications are about the same.
They can't if they come to your door, you don't have to answer the door,
right?
Unless they have if they have to slip the warrant under the door, then you have to open the door. But otherwise, they'll just come and they trick people.
But that goes for a cop too.
They trick people into they trick people into just admitting to them what they need to hear to lock you up. It's fucked up, and we're very against it here at the Mental Injection, because we are all descendants of immigrants. Some of us immigrants themselves.
Half of us are immigrants.
Yeah, half of us are descendants.
Fuck that shit. So she got shamed out of this restaurant, and then people actually went to her house and were protesting in front of her house all day. Which, yes, this is what needs to be done. These people, they need to know that this is fucked up, and they can't get away. They can't get away with this.
But they are.
What do you mean?
Their block is a little bit noisier. They're just going to dig in more on their side. I don't think it's going to really accomplish much.
I disagree with that. I think, but not from one incident. But I mean, if you keep doing it everywhere they go and make them pariahs,
make her quit.
But then she'll just be replaced with someone else who'll do the same.
So then do it to them.
Then do what they're doing in New York now, which is physically stand in the fucking ICE office and not let them do anything.
That makes more sense than just pestering people who.
I think they both make sense. I'm for both. I do. That's not either or. Send all the bodies you can to do everything you can.
So then, after all of this, poor innocent press secretary
Monstrous.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders went to the Red Barn. Is somewhere in a suburb in Virginia, and it was her and a few people, and then one of the waiters called the owner and was like, "Hey, Sarah Sanders is here." The owner drove down to the restaurant, politely asked Sarah Sanders into the hallway to speak to her, and then politely asked her to leave because she said she disagreed with what a bitch that woman is.
That's not what she said.
That's not what she said. She was much nicer about it, but this woman is lying.
Right.
And the mouthpiece of a shitty fucking.
And then
Don't
what
get me
did Sarah
started.
Sanders do?
So then Sarah Sanders, being the bigger person, essentially sent out a. Come on, Sid. I didn't mean it that way.
Well, it worked on two levels.
She went on Twitter and she was like, she did
tarnished
one of
the
those things
restaurant.
like, "I'm not offended by what the Red Barn in Virginia," she sent a dog whistle basically to Trump supporters to harass this Red Barn.
Right.
And it was actually an ethics violation because you are not allowed to, it was a personal matter that she made professional.
Right. So is anything going to happen to her? Is anyone going to is it just going to be like a slap on the wrist?
There's
going to
be nothing. There's going to be nothing. What?
I think there might be if some lawyer sues, she could get sued and get
What
fined.
happened to Kellyanne Conway when she advocated people buy Ivanka's clothing?
She had to pay a fine.
How much?
I don't know.
Trump probably covered it.
But
these people are all rich anyway.
Whatever. It doesn't. She's a whatever. But it created what annoys me is it kind of changed the conversation from, hey, let's get these kids back to their families, to, is civility lost in political?
Yeah, it's so fucking stupid.
Is this too far? Is this too far? It's like, no, fucking separating kids from their families is too far. Mm-hmm. It's past the point of too far.
Also, the people doing this stuff aren't politicians, so they're not really active members of the political discourse, so it doesn't have to do with them. It's just private citizens do what the fuck they want.
Well, then Maxine Waters said that she encouraged it.
Well, that was just like a politician trying to jump on a bandwagon.
Now everyone's throwing her under the bus. Schumer and Pelosi and fucking Paul Ryan now has an opinion on something and said she needs to apologize.
If you throw
she needs to apologize. All the shit that Trump said.
Right.
Oh, I don't. I have to look into it. I don't know. Yeah. But that.
See, if she was cool, she'd come out and be like, "I tell Paul Ryan suck my dick." Then she would have my vote. I would move to California just to vote for her. I want to see double down on being more rude
She
than
needs
they
to come
are.
out and say pee on the dick, duck, 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 goose to Paul Ryan.
Not on his dick.
Maybe on his face.
Sure.
Pee on the face, duck, 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 goose. I don't know.
And why is it got to be hip hop? Because she's black, Rob?
No, just because we played that song earlier and it was in my head.
Convenient how you plan to play that song and then talk about Maxine Waters later.
You know how I always like to bring up Maxine Waters.
Waters, P. I see what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Water in his face.
Nice. By the way, speaking of nice, episode 469.
Nice. There's 4 of us. Let's do it.
How do we split that up?
Who gets who?
69ing.
Who gets who?
It wouldn't even be it would be a 6,969. That's what it would be. It's like a chain link.
It's like a human centipede.
A blockchain.
Yeah.
A cock chain. And Noah. All right. Sorry. 213 Wide Nut, 213-943-3688.
Thank you for saying 8 properly that time. It's a big step for you.
Hate? You
Oh,
don't,
for fuck's sake.
you don't like when I say hate?
No one in the world says hate. I don't know what accent you're mimicking.
While we're talking about this wonderful administration, Darren, do you want to pull up this Mike Pence, who Darren and I believe is truly the scariest member of the Trump administration.
Agreed.
Like, the reason that I don't want Trump impeached is Mike Pence. Like, the only way Trump, I'm okay with Trump being impeached, is if they also have enough evidence to impeach Pence with Trump.
Right.
And then Paul Ryan is the president.
Well, no. See, by then, the Democrats would have won back the House, and
then
Nancy
Nancy
Pelosi
Pelosi's
would have-
president.
Yeah, Paul Ryan's retiring. So he's going to be gone
Yeah.
by this time anyway.
You're right.
There
We
are
need,
no
to, we,
good
need
options
to,
here.
we need to get rid of Nancy Pelosi as well.
Right. Hey, we need to do like another 8 chains before you get to anyone good. And then you're still pushing it.
So anyway, Pence, very active in the media when he was a governor. And he has this review of Mulan, which I bet he pronounces Mulan, because, you know. And the review, when I was reading it, first of all, this review is crazy. It kind of gave me Ken Pierce vibes, but Ken Pierce is nowhere near as creepy as Mike Pence. But I would like you to read this review in the voice.
What is Mulan? It's the movie.
It's that
right?
Disney movie.
Oh, okay.
It's the one that wasn't Moana.
You will know what it is from the description that he offers.
Just spent a memorable Father's Day like so many other all-American Hoosier dads with my kids at the new Disney film entitled Mulan.
Can we pause for a second and find out how old his kids were when this movie came out? Because he's pretty old. Like, did he take like a couple of 23-year-olds to see this fucking movie?
What's Mulan, like 05-ish?
That sounds right. It was sometime in the aughts.
03? For those who have not yet been victimized by the McDonald's-induced hysteria over this film, Mulan is a fictional account of a delicate girl of the same name who surreptitiously takes her father's place in the Chinese army in one of the ancient wars against the Huns. Despite her delicate features and voice, Disney expects us to believe that Mulan's ingenuity and courage were enough to carry her to military success on an equal basis with her cloddish cohorts. Obviously, this is Walt Disney's attempt to add childhood expectation to the cultural debate over the role of women in the military. I suspect that some mischievous liberal at Disney assumes that Mulan's story will cause a quiet change in the next generation's attitude about women in combat. And they just might be right. Just think about how often we think of Bambi every time the subject of deer hunting comes into the mainstream media.
Which is when? When, other than when the movie Deer Hunter came out and got some Oscar nominations, when does that come? What mainstream media is he talking about?
Never happened.
By the way, his oldest child was 5 when the movie came out.
Oh, wow. Ugh. Gross. still having kids.
Oh, we're continuing here?
Yes.
Okay. The only problem with this liberal hope is the reality which intrudes on the Disney ideal from the morning's headlines. From the original tailhook scandal involving scores of high-ranking Navy fighter pilots who molested subordinate women to the latest travesty at Aberdeen Proving Grounds. What's that? I don't even know what that is. Sid, remember that?
No.
Okay. The hard truth of our experiment with gender integration is that it has been an almost complete disaster.
Unreal.
For the military.
We can't get women in the military. That's what the blog is.
I kind of half agree with him. There just should be no women or men in the military.
Yeah, that's like the thing. The reasoning is horrible, but like, hey, ladies, you're less chance of you dying if you're not in the army. So let them do you the favor.
Right, and then slowly we could phase the men out too.
Yeah.
And just not have a military.
Just have robots? Not having a military.
Right. Not do all the things around the world that we do that require us to have defense.
No, we got drones now.
Yeah.
That's
well, I don't even want. Let's phase out the drones after the men and women.
Women.
By the way, Mike Pence is like his stock footage for his photo, his still photo for this column is hilarious. He looks
Can you describe it?
He looks like Matt Dillon almost, like with gray hair. Looks completely different.
He's a handsome man.
He's probably the most rapey looking person in politics. He has the eyes of a serial killer.
Yeah, like his eyes creep me out. If you see Mike Pence on TV next time, look at his eyes. Yeah. There's no expression. Zero. He doesn't believe anything he's saying.
I don't know. I feel like every time I see him, he's like staring lovingly at Donald Trump. And it's really creepy. He's like trying so hard. Like he's like, I know he's going to look back at this video. I've got to look like I'm really into whatever he's saying.
I'm sure they hate each other, by the way. Like Pence is perfect like buffer if you're that much of a shitty president. Like who wants Pence to be the president, you know? It's like a perfect
people in Indiana, I guess.
Not gay people in Indiana.
Well, no. That's got to be a rough life.
He wanted to electrocute them. Or not electrocute them. That would mean they'd be dead. But he wanted to use
shock.
Yeah, electrotherapy, quote unquote, to make them not gay anymore.
When is it going to come out that he had that done on him?
And it worked. That's how he knows.
He calls his wife mother. Clearly, it worked.
Those fucking jumper cables on those balls.
That's why his hair is like that. Shocked the color right out of him.
I also wanted to say, like you mentioned the cake baking thing in relation to these people being drummed out of a restaurant, and I think that's just missing the point. Like they would say, "Oh, you wanted to force people to make cake for a gay marriage, but you don't want to allow them to. You want to allow the business owner to kick people out."
The hypocrisy.
Well. The hypocrisy of it is that they're like the thing that's wrong with the cake thing is not that they're discriminating. Like it's okay to discriminate. It's not okay to discriminate against gay people. You understand what I'm saying? Like that being gay.
Yeah, it's okay to discriminate against Nazis.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it misses the point when they say, "Oh, these gay people are being discriminated. You should be able to serve anybody." That's not true. Like they should be able to discriminate. You're just discriminating for a shitty fucking reason. Like discriminating against black people or gay people or whatever.
That's a great way to phrase it, because anytime I see on Facebook, and these are like good, well-meaning people, they have this discussion, and like the conversation always goes to the opposite end of like, well, if a Nazi walked in, should they have to do a Nazi cake? And it's like, yeah, you're comparing being gay to being a Nazi. It's not the same. It's not.
But like
well,
you said,
I guess to the bigot, it is the same.
But if you make that argument that cake buyers should have to serve a gay marriage because they can't discriminate, you're leaving yourself open to someone saying, "What about Nazis?" So the answer is, yes, you should have to be forced to serve gay people. No, you should not have to be forced to serve Nazis. That's the answer, because fuck Nazis.
Fuck the Nazis!
And like hate speech is an actual thing.
Yes, that's true too.
it's
And
like
it's
legally
illegal.
defined. Yeah.
But all right, let's take hate speech out of it, and you're just an asshole that works for ICE, and you're not in there doing hate speech. You just have an existence that your job exists to hurt people.
But how would the cake maker know?
Right, they
the
wouldn't
job?
know. But let's just say they
Let's say
know.
it's
They
like-
know them from the neighborhood. or
Yeah, it's a
whatever.
small town.
No, I don't want to serve you. Good, I support that. That's a moral choice. That's not based on your gender or your
I know, but
race.
like ultra-religious people will say that it's a moral
Yeah.
choice for them too.
Okay, well then they're allowed to do that, but then they'll be shitty people.
Well, yeah, that's how it is now.
And we should.
And they do that already, though. You know, it's not like.
But if they do it in the context of a business, then fuck you. We have laws that protect gay people. We don't have laws that protect fucking Nazis. Fuck them. Except their right to speak, but they don't have a right to go and be served or be respected by anybody.
I wonder how many Nazi cakes get made
Probably a lot because they're Nazi businesses.
that make cakes.
Or like that are amenable to
There's
that.
Nazi bakeries.
What?
No, I don't know. Probably.
Look it up, Rob. Your name
Rob,
definitely
what
won't
up?
get put on the list.
Rob, go to Carvel later and see if they'll make you a Fudgy the Whale with a fucking iron cross on it. A Hakenkreuz. This is our Auschwitz Fudgy the Whale. I'm Tom Carvel.
Now I want some Carvel.
Ice cream cake. Yeah, that would be nice. I've got some gelato at
delicious.
home. It's very nice.
Do you now?
It's the ice cream without the cake.
From L&B?
Talenti.
Oh, it's a good brand. Good brand. Big fan.
Got the gelato and the sorbetto. A little mango sorbetto. Then I've got like a caramel cookie crunch gelato.
Certainly sounds good.
I recommend the Talenti brand.
It's good. The container is clear, so you see exactly what you're getting. There's no trickery. There's no picture of Jimmy Fallon on the side of the fucking thing.
Yeah. I see. I don't recommend the Jimmy Fallon.
I've never
what's
tried
the
it.
flavor?
It's got like potato chips in it.
Yeah, no, screw that.
Fallon in Love.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
Isn't it like late night snack
Yeah,
or something like
the
that?
Colbert.
That one's fantastic.
Americone Dream. I just recommend the Haagen-Dazs version, which is
Again with the fucking mispronunciation of this. It's been years. You still pronounce it.
Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah,
Haagen-Dazs.
we've been over this, man. It's
not appealing
Haagen-Dazs.
when you say Hagen dies.
the
dies in your ice
Haagen-Dazs.
cream?
Haagen-Dazs.
Where did you get this?
From my mom. I don't know.
Robert, you keep saying Hagen Dazs. It's dies, блин.
Well, their caramel cone flavor is much better than the.
Really?
And I'm a big Ben and Jerry's fan, but I think that one falls short.
I'm quite a fan.
One time I bought the Stephen Colbert ice cream from the supermarket over here, and I was so excited. I spent like $6-7 on it.
Big money.
And I got home and I opened up the container, and I realized that like it must have been an ice cream that was left outside and then put back in the
I
freezer.
hate that. That is the worst.
It was so sad. I was heartbroken.
I know. I can't. That is the worst thing.
And I didn't want to like have to go back and like do a whole.
There have been
thing.
times that I've done that. Oh no, not go back and like demand a refund or whatever, but like go buy another pint of ice cream.
I know,
Well, you
but, like,
still
had to
want
go-
ice cream.
Yeah.
I know, but I was already like home and like I put it in the freezer. It was much later. I was like ready to watch TV and like sit in bed and eat ice cream, and it was like so disappointing.
Well, here's the thing, Noah. Most people they'd have to drive 20 minutes to the store. Your store is like 3 steps away
I
from
know,
you.
but I have to go down 2 flights of stairs. I don't want to do that when I'm in my pajamas. It's like a whole thing. I'm
That's
already
fair.
like relaxed.
That's fair.
Problems.
Yeah. I like Rob saying that's the worst. Like 15 minutes after we talk about ice separating children from their parents.
It's the worst he ever had to
It's
deal
like,
with.
look,
They do at the facility. They do. The ice guards right on the other side of the cage are eating fucking chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream.
Oh man.
And like teasing the kids with
Probably that's definitely
it. Dulce
happened.
de leche. Fuck
now
them.
I can't eat ice cream. You ruined ice cream for me.
You're welcome. Why'd you do that?
No, it's true. It really does make me realize the privilege I have. My privilege.
Thank you.
I acknowledge my privilege, and I'm very lucky. And you know, it kind of gets me worried for younger people. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, I feel like we had a head start on the world crumbling.
Chasseur, chasson, chasseur,
The people like in their teens, like, where are they gonna work? How are they going to make money? Like,
I
if
mean,
their parents,
They're all gonna have
if their-
websites like you do.
If their parents didn't like have some sort of foundation of money or
I
connections
know,
to get
but
them a job,
when we were 16, like we had the same thoughts. Like, what the hell are we gonna do? There were no jobs. I remember when we finished. Well, I guess we didn't finish college. When we left college,
when we were finished with college,
we were finished with
When
college.
you were done. When you were over it.
When we were over it, there weren't any jobs or anything like that.
I got an internship at Roadrunner Records. That
That
was
wasn't a job.
That led to a job. I mean,
Okay,
that's
so they'll get
that's an opportunity. Yeah,
It
but I'm
led to
saying-
an office where you were able to jerk off at your desk, is what it led to.
And taste your
Job.
semen.
It's very true.
Fuck out of here.
Very true. The first part's true. The second part not true.
Got some Power Man 5000 promo CDs.
And use them as cum wipes.
Oh my! Well, you got to do something with them.
That's what I.
5,000 milliliters of
You
cum.
just see him like scraping the cum off his hand with the CD cover.
No. I just put the CD cover between my stomach and like my dick and like just come onto the CD cover.
Like a little bowl. Right?
Yeah. Exactly. Don't jerk off at work, kids. That's my advice.
Or jerk off at work. You'll have a nice.
Unless you work from home, then
future
go for it.
like Rob.
Yeah, there you go. Look at.
Yeah, it worked out for him.
It'll make you want to work at home, so
Yeah.
you could jerk off all day, like
Yeah.
Rob.
To the point that it becomes a problem, and then you have to stop jerking off.
You have to go to a rehab center because you're a sex.
No
addict.
rehab. I
Rehab
rehab
more
myself.
sunflower seeds.
Just less downtime at the computer. Blocking some websites. That never worked. I always just unblock it. Like, what's the point?
My wife has been
My
watching,
wife?
has been watching the new episodes of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, and they're mostly horrible. But one episode in particular, the straight guy that they were helping was Iranian dude, like in his early 20s.
Iranian. Say it correctly.
And his problem was that he was just like a slacker who sat on his couch all day eating sunflower seeds. And he sort of looked like he had like the same kind of hair
Well, now
situation
I
going on.
have to watch that episode.
I'm like, this is like a way shittier version of Rob, and it was the only episode where like the person receiving the help like had zero redeeming qualities. Like I'm like, this guy doesn't deserve any of this. Why are they helping him? He's horrible.
What do you? So they changed.
His big thing was that he was supposed to graduate college, but he showed up late to one class a bunch of times, so they failed him. And so he went to graduation, but
Wait, is
didn't
this
actually
you,
get
Rob,
his
or-
diploma.
No, this
And
is
he
not-
did. He lied to his parents about it. So he needed to work up the nerve to tell his parents the truth that he hasn't actually graduated and he can't keep a job. He keeps getting fired from the waiting jobs he gets. And like the guy sucks. He wasn't funny. He lied about everything.
And
He
the other,
doesn't help anyone. Had like barely any friends. Like no redeeming qualities.
I was gonna say the other problem is that Jake Roberts only gave him a little bit of coke. Give me half and half.
If he had those pointy shoes, I would have given him a little bit of credit. But one of the funniest TV moments of the year, where there was one episode, and I haven't stopped thinking about it since it happened. They had this guy that they were helping, and they're like, okay, so you watch a lot of TV. Who's like a TV star whose style you're really into, who you would like to emulate? And he said Frasier. He said the queer
Fraser Crane?
Yes. And the Queer Eye guy was like just stunned into silence. He had like nothing. He's like, what?
So did these other people have redeeming qualities?
Yeah,
like,
they're
like it was like a self-help
They
thing?
have like children that they've adopted, or they work in the fire department, or they didn't have their parents and were raised by like a stepmom. Blah blah blah.
Oh, so it's like an
it was like a
uplifting show.
sob story or something. And this guy had nothing. Like the sob story was, oh yeah, I was supposed to graduate college, but then I was late a lot and failed, and then I show up late to work a lot, so I keep getting fired from jobs. And I'm like 23, and I
Wow.
don't really have much of a personality. And that was it. Like there's nothing.
What do you now? Your wife watches this. Now, what do you watch to get back at your wife for making you watch that?
No, nothing. Nothing really.
You don't make her watch anything
Sports.
she doesn't like, though.
I try not to. I try not
So
to.
she doesn't
But do you
do that
watch
back
sport?
to you?
You watch plenty of sports.
Sometimes, yeah, but she has other stuff she'll be doing. She'll be like reading or playing like an app, Tiny Tower or some fucking game that she plays. Gardenscapes.
But has there ever been a time when she sat and you made her watch something that she didn't want to watch?
Not really. And I wasn't really super opposed to watching Queer Eye. I can find, in most of these kind of shows, I can find something to hook me in. And with this, it was like the random dude who's wants to emulate Frasier. And every subsequent episode, I'm like, oh man, they should have said Frasier. I wanted it to become a meme on the show.
So wait, did they like accommodate? They bring out like a
Not
jacket
really.
with patches on the elbows?
Not
and
really,
shit?
no. They're like, oh, well, I guess we could try, but how about this? How about this
what
cool
do you-
untucked shirt, man?
Who do you end up looking like?
A slightly less ugly version of himself. I mean, they can't work miracles.
You should have said there's this Iranian guy who has a website.
He's already too successful for this show. And also, for some reason, like both seasons that were based in Atlanta, so they only did people in Georgia.
No, I just meant
is
like
weird.
that's who the guy could have emulated.
Oh my God! Well, it wouldn't really. I mean, other than holding down a job, there wasn't really a ton of difference otherwise.
Should get him a shirt that says "Your mouth would look better with that dick in it."
I guarantee you, he had that shirt already. This guy for sure had that.
Covered in sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
Except he didn't get it for free from John Benjamin. He
Yeah.
actually went out and bought it.
No, he got it for free from Queer Eye from the Straight Guy.
Oh, okay.
Look at you name dropping.
Well, no, John
We
Benjamin.
didn't, it wasn't like a gift he gave us.
No, he
I
like
know,
he tweeted out like, "Hey, I have a bunch of these."
No, I got it. I'm
shirts."
just saying you were very happy to frame it in that way to make just leave it hanging there.
My good
Blame
friend
him.
John Benjamin.
Blame John Benjamin.
You didn't say it, but you didn't not say it.
Well, now I said it. It's been said. Okay. Can we move on? No.
Sure.
Where we move it? I go to Colorado. I go to Canada. Canada legalized pot completely. The whole country. It's going to be legal.
Say it sexily.
Canada legalized pot.
Oh.
That's not sexy.
Canada legalized pot.
I feel sorry for whoever's ear you're whispering in sexily with that voice.
Canada legalized pot.
There you go.
Do you smoke weed?
Sid, do you smoke weed?
No. I mean, I have a couple times. We've gone over this.
We have.
But I do not smoke.
Didn't you
it
smoke
regularly.
weed? When was the last time you smoked weed?
Smoked?
For your birthday, was it?
I can't even
There was
remember.
like an episode or something. where
I've
we
done
smoked.
some edibles recently. I mean, over the last like year or two. But smoke or vaping, I'd maybe vaped once or twice. But smoked. Does one of them like e-cigarette thingies count as smoking, or like we're talking like a bong or a joint situation or a spliff?
A joint or
One of those crazy spliffs you kids smoke.
Yeah, one of those.
One of those Dutch masters.
A Philly.
Yeah,
Philly's a
I
blunt.
haven't done that in forever.
Would you want to do mushrooms with me?
Zero chance.
I mean, like, could we all do mushrooms together?
No.
Not happening.
No.
Why?
Because we're old fucking people. We don't do that
Yeah,
anymore.
and that's not even why. It's for me. I just don't. Like I very much value my like consciousness, and I don't like altering it. I'm afraid of something permanently snapping in there, and that's not to say that other people shouldn't do it if they're comfortable with it. I'm very much pro, whatever you want to do, as long as you're not hurting anybody, do it. But it doesn't work for me.
Well, I'm glad that Rob didn't say no.
No, consider it.
Nothing against you, Noah. That's
Oh
not
yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm just looking for someone to do mushrooms with.
I had
I'll have some truffle oil French fries.
Ooh.
Mushroom adjacent.
I had a bad experience the last 2 times I did mushrooms, but I realized it's because I took too much. Because I had a great time, and then I didn't. I wanted it to be over, and it was like kept going on. I'm like, I'm done. I'm
No,
done.
I don't want to do a whole bunch. I just want to do like a little.
Yeah, and then I realized like, oh, I should just do like not a lot because there are parts of it that I very much.
How
enjoy.
long did it go?
Well, it took forever to hit. It took like 2 hours to hit, and then it went on for like 2-3 hours, and it's just like
I thought you were going to say like a day and a half.
no. The intensity of it was actually closer to 5 hours. It just my mind running, and it's just like, oh, I want to calm down. I don't want to have these thoughts. Like, it became very nihilistic, and it just became like, well, what's the point of anything? Just that's where my mind
Is
kept.
that when you decided to go for the mustache for a little while?
Yeah, I was like, what's the
you're like, nothing matters. I'm gonna have a mustache.
No, it was
hair out.
it was to trim most of my beard to see if Bobko would react more positive to me. Well, I guess
You should give her some mushrooms. Maybe she'll like you.
no, but There is CBD oil for dogs.
I did acid once, and it was a nightmare. Actually, I should say I did acid twice, and one of them was a dud. Like
Yeah,
nothing
the
happened.
only time I ever did it was a dud also.
That was at Woodstock '94. The
Oh,
same
man.
trip
Oof.
when I went on that.
When you almost
that,
died.
yeah,
Died.
on that tidal wave of human beings, or it was coming towards me anyway. But the other time I did it, I went to see the movie Mortal Kombat in the theater.
No.
Probably the
That was a
worst thing you
terrible
could do.
idea.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's
it wasn't
very
like
scary.
It wasn't like a like a premeditated plan of all right, we're gonna get some acid, we're gonna go see it. It was just we were at the movie and the guy said, "Hey, let's do acid." I said, "Okay."
I thought you were going to say the only reason you went to see Mortal Kombat is because you're already on acid.
No, I love that movie.
Oh, really?
I thought, and I was, I
I've
was
never seen
actually very skeptical. I was like, I love this game. It's gonna be shitty.
It's on Netflix. The
It's
first one.
really fucking good. It's one of the best martial arts movies of mainstream Hollywood.
Who's in it
of that
besides
time.
Pete Sampras's wife?
Like nobody really. Robin Shu plays Liu Kang. He was in a few. He was like a character actor that would pop up on Law and Order.
Related to Elizabeth Shue and Andrew Shue?
SHOU.
Oh.
Related. And
Raul Masvidal.
trying to think of who else. No, like nobody really. Oh, the girl that played Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter in Last Action Hero is Sonya Blade.
I don't remember who that is.
I can't remember her name though. Meredith something. Not sure.
Meredith Morakovitz.
No. Yeah, I don't think hardly anyone's famous. The guy that plays Shang Tsung is also.
Oh yeah, he's an Asian character.
Yeah,
actor, like
he's
you
in
were
everything.
Great Muay Thai in
He's in The Man in the High Castle.
Oh.
Yeah. He's Shang Tsung.
Robin Shu you mentioned.
Yeah.
as Luke Kang.
There's
Yeah,
no one really famous in it. Christopher Lambert is Raiden.
Oh.
Raiden. That was ridiculous casting, but he was good in it.
Bridget Wilson.
Bridget Wilson.
Sampras.
She played. Her
that's
name is
Pete-
Meredith in
That's
Last
Pete
Action Hero.
Sampras's wife, right?
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Great movie. Then they made a sequel that was one of the worst movies I've ever
Yes.
seen in any genre.
The one thing about Mortal Kombat, the CG does not hold up at all. It looks so fake.
But it's not the point of it. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like.
no, it's charming in a way.
And it's also the movie knows what it is. Like it's being campy.
Yeah.
Who was the director?
Let's see.
remember.
Sandy Helberg.
I don't know who that is. Give me
And,
some more
and
credits.
Daniel.
No, the movie director is Paul W.S. Anderson,
Oh,
who
really?
also did Resident Evil.
Oh, is that right? I don't
So
know
he
that.
just does video game movies? Did he do the Super Mario
Death
Brothers?
Race. Yeah, that's it.
Sandy Helberg directed Sebastian Box.
Yeah.
Volume 1.
Oh, I guess he played director in Mortal Kombat.
Oh, he played a director in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Oh, right, because Johnny Cage is on a movie set at some
Right.
point. They call him out to go to this tournament or whatever. Really good. It's really good. But I got off the topic.
So how were you offered you were at your seats and he's like, hey, you want to do acid?
No, it was before we went in the movie that I dropped
Is
out.
this music triggering for you, by the way?
No, this is like 25 years ago. It was like before the entire audience of this show was born. But
So how did it happen?
Well, first of all, this is a very trippy movie. Like, there's like skulls flying around in the sky and shit. Like, it's very.
Yeah. And it's very hellacious. There's a lot of imagery that would be like, if you're sedated, you would imagine you're in hell. I could see how
Right.
you could imagine you're in hell.
And also, yeah, like if you're like acid,
Like literally hell.
I mean, I'm not an acid expert, but from my one experience and from what people say, it's like your stimuli that enter your senses determines what kind of a trip that you're gonna have.
Sure, yeah.
And
Agreed.
that movie
You're
is like
surrounded.
the last, like violent, like just constant, nonstop kicking and people
Yeah.
being impaled on shit, and like aggressiveness and yelling at each other.
Right, a lot of action into the camera, so it kind of looks like it's coming at you.
Right.
Oh, God.
So during the movie, nothing happened, but I acquired all this shit like from the movie. There's a part in the movie where one of the characters like opens a grate, like a manhole in the street, and these souls start flying out of
Oh,
it.
my God.
So I did that in the street, like I was trying to open a manhole cover.
To release the soul.
Yeah, these souls.
Just instead of a bunch of rats.
And then there were
flew out.
gargoyles and stuff on buildings, and I thought they were coming alive
Oh
and all
my
that. I was
God.
hallucinating really badly.
So you did it before you went into the theater.
Yes.
but it didn't hit you until after you got out.
No,
of
like
it?
I would say, like probably I started feeling something like midway through the movie,
Right.
And then it really hit me like afterward.
Also, because you get up and you change your surroundings, and by changing your surroundings, your body has to process all these new imagery.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you want to put it in nerdy computer terms, like doing acid is kind of like infecting your body with a virus.
That makes sense.
And your body requires more time to like render reality.
That makes sense. Too.
And it like misrenders things, which is I think the hallucinating.
And I also there was one other thing I remember is that I was walking. We were walking away from the theater. Now the movie's over, and I bend over and I start like someone walked by with a dog, and I'm like petting the dog, and my friends are all looking at me like I'm an idiot. Like, what are you doing?
Oh my God, who were you petting?
I wasn't petting anything. I was petting the air, and the dog was across the street. And somehow my mind warped space-time to make like the dog next to me.
Wow.
Okay, Rob, let's do acid instead.
My experience with acid, I've only done it once. Was a very positive. It was like a very
think I
third
was
eye
there.
opening
Third
thing.
eye blind.
Oh yeah, you might have been there for a little bit of it, but
Me or her?
No, Noah.
No, I remember it was,
It
with Nick.
Yeah,
I thought you did it in the radio station of our old show.
No, no.
Came in high already. Something.
No, not
Acid.
not acid.
Okay.
I only did it once. So the thing about it with any hallucinogen, it always takes longer to hit me. I think because I'm a big guy than everyone around me. So it was just like everyone was going off for like half an hour. They're like giggling and like seeing stuff grow out of the floor or whatever. And I'm like, I'm just sitting there. And then it kind of slowly overtook me to the point that I'm like, I really felt it, and my mind was like moving a mile a minute. I think I might have talked about this on the show before, but it felt like I rediscovered, like I was rediscovering everything for the first time. Like I would do something and I would question, why do I do it this particular way? Like, you know, I would question things I didn't think about. And I remember I wrote down all these notes of like, I have to remember this. This is so profound. And like when I was moving, I found these notes and it was like, what is this gibberish? This is like... It's
bad.
Yeah,
it's like when you write down dreams and stuff.
Yeah, it's very. It was like, it wasn't like cringe. It was funny. I wasn't like cringing at what like. It was funny to me how profound I thought what I was writing was, but it was great. I didn't have that like, but it was a much calmer atmosphere. I was in a surrounding where I was in Nick's basement, which is just like we would always hang out there and smoke pot, so I knew exactly where I was. And then we walked out, and he lived across the street from a playground, and that was like a fun journey. And it was empty, so there was no one to like ruin my high. Yeah, it was late at night, and I do remember there was this one like security light, and it was super bright, and it would go on and then turn off for 10 minutes, and then turn back on and slowly fade out, and we must have stood there.
Staring at this
Staring
light.
at the light, because it would fade out, and the refractions and everything would create these visuals because our pupils are dilated, and we were just like flipping it.
Makes sense.
So, but I did have the opportunity to do acid recently, and I pussed out because I for the same reason actually that you were giving, where you were like, oh, I'm afraid it would unlock.
Yeah.
Something in
Not
me, like,
unlocked so per se. I feel like it might damage some consciousness that I have, or some facet of my consciousness.
Yeah, there would be some chemical change that you wouldn't be cool with. I feel that.
Rob, if I may just be the parser for 1 minute,
Yes, please,
I feel
parse.
like my people would not forgive me if I wasn't. But earlier you said sissy is a problematic word to use, yet you just said pussed out. How is that okay?
That's a great point. I do have to change my own dialogue. Thank you. What would be a suitable replacement for that?
Wimped
Chickened
out,
out,
wussed out.
Well, wimped, wussed. These are all. Wouldn't that be?
I think sissy is worse than pussy, though. If I could just, not that either one is.
Well,
great.
isn't that a little misogynistic then?
Yeah,
Both of them.
I didn't say one is good and one is bad.
Oh.
I said I think sissy is way worse. Sissy directly targets men for being effeminate, and also sort of downgrades women for being like they're the bad thing that you're calling a man. You know,
Pussy just downgrades women.
a
So
pussy. Well, no, I don't think a pussy downgrades women. I think it's calling a man a body part as an insult is not as bad as calling him a woman.
But it's a woman's body part. So
Right,
It's the same
right.
thing.
But you're not saying like the characteristics of women are bad.
you call guys dicks. You know.
At a relative scale, I would say it's not as bad. But not that I'm defending. You know.
So you're slightly better than Dave Mustaine, Rob. Congratulations.
Thank you. I feel good about that. There are certain words I'm trying to eradicate.
It's hard
from my vernacular. Yeah, it's really
At least you're trying.
Yeah, I think it's just also you don't think about the words you say and like their true meaning just because you've said them so many times.
And
they
we're on our 30s and 40s on this show
Yeah.
too. It's hard to like just shift gears like that. I feel like as long as you're being conscious of it, and trying not to hurt people's feelings, you know, like that's what matters more.
Agreed. Like for example, one word cocksucker. I feel is just that's
Yeah.
What's wrong with sucking
You're
cock?
implying that that's something bad. To
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Or a douche, something that keeps vaginas clean.
But most women don't use those.
Yeah, they're bad.
Yeah.
But why is it even a bad thing?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know
because
how
it
that
I
kills-
feel
it
with
kills the
douche,
good
it's just such a
bacteria
fun
and the
word
bad
to say.
Douchebag.
Yeah, douchebag.
A lot of them aren't even
I
bags
guess
anymore.
I've canceled out cursing. I don't really curse anymore, to be honest. I don't think I do.
Oh, I definitely do.
So I mean, like I'll say fuck, but that's like in a totally different context.
I think I cursed less than I used to. In fact, if you even went back and listened to the beginning of the show, I probably our run as a show, I would cursed a lot more.
Yeah.
But I don't curse zero. Like I think I still curse. I think I use it more as an accent, like a punctuation. I used to just do it unthinkingly. This fucking guy, a fucking hair, a fucking asshole. You know.
I hear you.
Constant f bombs.
I guess dick would be another one, right?
But to call a man a dick
Dick,
is less oppressive. 'Cause,
yeah.
Men are not really marginalized.
Yeah.
For being men, so I feel like it's less offensive than calling a woman a cunt or something.
What if I call Rob a cunt?
It's not as bad as calling a woman a cunt, I
Okay,
would say.
good. Cool.
'Cause he's a man.
Keep doing that then.
Yeah, I'm also trying not to say bitch as much.
Yeah.
This bitch. But it's just so fun to say, but I can see how it's
It's
problematic.
not the worst thing in the world. It's good to be thoughtful of these things.
You can only do it when you're referring to your dog.
Yeah,
And it's
she
using
is
it
a
properly.
bitch. Yeah, literally. Literally.
Bobka, you bitch.
Bobka bitch. It's Bobka bitch.
All right. On that note, this one flew by.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're good.
We didn't have any like listener mail to go through, right? Or did we just forget?
Let me check.
Or we could just save it.
Yeah, check. We don't want to make these people wait.
Plug the socials for now and how people could contact us.
At MI Livecast. What's the Facebook address? I barely go on Facebook. so-
Facebook.com/metalinjectionlivecast.
There you go. What's our Snapchat?
We
You don't have that, but we do have a Discord chat that mostly Darren and Rob check.
No,
Sid.
Or
me.
Sid.
Darren
I'm
and
sorry.
Sid.
Darren and Sid. I just forget about it.
I'm
during
in
the
there.
week.
I'm in there. I get in there.
What's our
You can rate and review us.
yeah.
It only helps
iTunes.
our podcast. You can tell your friends to listen to the podcast.
Spotify,
You can go to Spotify. You can listen to old shows,
Stitcher,
to new shows on Stitcher.
TuneIn, right? Is that one, Rob?
Whatever podcast app you're using, we're
The
probably on
Googles?
there.
Are we on the Google?
Mhm. Yeah, there's a Google Podcasts app now on Android that I believe you can get us on.
And we allow Android people to listen to our show. You're cool with that, Rob?
Totally cool with that. I love it. I support Android completely. I was a big fan of it when it first started. I think it's great. There should be alternative operating systems.
Not that you would ever use it.
Not that I would use it. But I've used Android tablets, but I think it's great. I support it. Most of our users are on Android.
Really?
Yeah.
Does that make you sad a little bit?
No. I don't care.
He's welcoming of everyone.
I don't. It's you know, like Facebook looks the same on every like it's.
How many of our users are on Nextels?
They chirping?
Yeah.
Chirp the Metal Injection.
They'd have to
Livecast?
they have to trim the 2 hours into like 90-second parts because that's the maximum.
We're just ringtones.
Yeah, well, that's the maximum amount of time audio you're allowed on those old Nextels. I remember. I remember, Sid. I was there working at the cell
was
phone
I.
shops.
I had the phone.
Oh, you had a Nextel?
Yeah.
You chirped?
We
Yeah,
were in this,
people
what
chirp
was
with-
there was like groups where you could like chirp and it was free. But it was like
Yeah,
what
it was
the
like a
name of the
walkie-talkie.
groups? It was like a special like.
No, everyone had a code. If you had somebody's code, you could just chirp them, and it's
But like when you sign up for the service, you could like give like the phone numbers of some of your friends that also have Nextel, and then the two-way talk is free for those people. But it was like a certain word. I can't remember.
the branding.
God
didn't stick
damn
with you.
Nextel. Bunch of dicks.
All right, so we
Then
don't
they
have
had-
any viewer mail.
Then they had to
Good.
puss out and
Then we
stop
get
being
to
a company.
end the show.
They had to what?
You heard me.
Yeah, that's right. So you can send us hate mail at metalinjection.net anytime during the week. We'll play it during the show. You could send a voice memo. You could record yourself on your phone or leave a voicemail on our SpeakPipe widget. Lots of fun ways you can contact us. We will be back next Tuesday. Hope you could listen live. If you can't, listen to the archive. It's up all week. We're on
Just told you how you can
Spotify.
listen to us.
We love being on Spotify. You can hear us on there. You can hear us on Apple Podcasts,
Buy a
iTunes.
shirt.
Buy a shirt. Go to metalinjection.net/livecast. Hit that merch button. Buy some merch. You can buy shirts, hoodies,
Mouse
stickers,
pad?
mouse pad. I think there are, yeah. Lots of fun stuff.
And get yourself some babka this weekend.
Yes. Go to a Jewish bakery and get a babka.
Get
Or
your
steal
own
Rob's
babka.
dog.
Get your own babka.
Yeah.
Go to
She's-
Rob's neighborhood now that you kind of know the address because Sid gave it earlier.
Well,
And
Rob
look
has
for
said
babka.
before that he lives near Grand Prosper Hall, so
Yeah.
he's given.
I do live
Follow the
alarmingly close to
the
Grand
crumb
Prosper
trail.
Hall.
Rob will be
What?
moving within the
The
next
cum
week.
trail.
The crumb.
I thought you said
Well, or
cum
cum.
trail.
The cum trail to
Chem-
Rob's house.
Chemtrails, cum trails, crumb trails, whatever. Treasure trail. Oregon Trail.
Maybe I like cum.
You can put
And,
anything up the butt.
Maybe I like cum.
You can put
Oops. Malfunction there.
both of them are the truth.
I like nipples.
You're so proud of yourself saying that. It's like a 5-year-old in kindergarten class at show and tell. Here's the thing about me.
I'm just chewing on some paper. Yeah.
Is it rolling paper?
Are you bogarting the joint,
She
babka?
ate your spliff, man. How could you let her do that?
All right, bye everybody.
We're outta
Are you
here.
playing anything out or no? Yes. All right, Darren. Hit it.
Te споя една песен на Mariah Carey, Ken Lee. И след това Катерино. Ken Lee.
Ken Lee.
Да.
Да не става въпрос за Without You.
Не.
Давайте.
No, I can't to get to see me. No, you please to show me when I guess
Of you, every step of